Welcome to another episode of Fans in Motion, the Ultimate Night Ranger podcast. And as Andy always says, the podcast you didn't know you needed. And today we have a very special guest, the glue that keeps the Night Ranger machine together. And I'm really telling you this, it's the glue. May not be super glue, may be the off-brand glue, but it is glue nonetheless. It is Mr. Ed Ripepi, tour manager, and everything else to the members of Night Ranger. Ed, how you doing?
It's Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
Gorilla Glue. Well,
I'm doing well. I'm in Billings, Montana.
Well,
a day or two early.
That's the epicenter of everything interesting. So Billings, Montana, Night Ranger has a show coming up there, and there we go. Brent has
I have the Gorilla Glue right here.
I'm like, what is that?
So
you're ruining my bunko thing over there.
So we're releasing this on a Monday morning, June 6th, if my calendar is correct, because this is a major announcement in the Night Ranger world. And we got you here exclusively to give us all the details of this announcement. So let's just let's turn it over to you and just tell us about this announcement for this Night Ranger show in November.
So as many of you guys know, my family does that memorial concert for my brother. So we did the first annual last year. We were able to raise enough money to buy not only 4 police canines, but we ended up doing 5. And last year's show was at the Jacobs Pavilion in downtown Cleveland in the Flats. And it went really well. A lot of you came, and I deeply appreciate the support. So this year I want to announce that on November 9th, 2022, Night Ranger once again will be playing the Danny Ripepi 2nd Annual Memorial Concert. And yes, you got the new logo there. You like that with the Rockstar horns?
Yep.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Nice.
So Night Ranger will be playing, and they will be playing with a special guest. And that special guest is also the beneficiary of the charitable grant that we'll be issuing to them. And they will be playing with the Contemporary Youth Orchestra of Cleveland.
Ooh, there we go.
The Youth Orchestra. That's awesome.
So if you, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. So with if you're in the hard rock community, you've probably seen them with. Back in the early mid 2000s, they were with Styx, and just more recently, Tommy Shaw of Styx did a show with them as well. So,
and they also did one recently with Jason Mraz and with Kenny Loggins and Michael Stanley when he was before he passed. Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah, I mean, these are 13 to 18-year-olds from all over the greater Cleveland County area that come from their high school symphonies and orchestras, and then audition to become part of the Contemporary Youth Orchestra. So
wow,
I'm very excited about it.
Is the whole show going to be with the orchestra behind them?
The whole show will be with the orchestra behind them. Let's just say we have probably 15 songs that they've picked, and we've already had to establish that. I would say that they will play between, I'll go a little broad range. I would say between 9 and 12, 10 and 13. I don't think they'll play all 15 songs per se, but that's where we're at. Still working out the logistics if we're going to have a choir behind them as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know there's going to be approximately 86 to 105 youth orchestra members. I know I see your face, Andy. It's pretty epic. Like,
yeah,
I went there, and so they are they house themselves out of Cuyahoga County Community College, Tri-C, right there at East 9th Street, kind of, and going towards the baseball stadium and all that. And their theater is inside the college there. And what's really cool is like the archives of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are there as well. So you kind of walk in and it's just like exploding with music. So I'm really excited to get the guys in there over the course of August through October, doing some one-on-one sessions with them. So And, we have to have an originator create all the charts and everything like that. So it'll be pretty cool. Like, you should have heard our notes. We have a Zoom conference with the guys and our conference call, and Brad's saying we got to do this and this and this, and Eric's like, we got to look at this part, and Kelly's like, the drum, this and it. So I was like, I was writing in hieroglyphics, because I was just like, as long as I can read the note and that little blurb, I can tell them. So it's really cool. I think this is going to be an opportunity for the newest fan to the oldest fan, longevity wise, to see something entirely different and to experience a great cause, B, I think it's a very emotional musical thing, kind of a creation, because you're going to hear Don't Tell Me You Love Me in a different faction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to hear, Goodbye in a different level of orchestration.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
And when you get a band that's 40 years into their career, it's very rare at that point in their career that you can experience something new and unique that they've never done in 40 years. And here with this is something none of us have ever been able to see Night Ranger do, which is perform with an orchestra. So very cool and unique with that. So and what you said is correct. You're going to hear some of these classics that that we all know, but you're going to hear, instead of a guitar ripping in, you're going to hear an orchestra coming in, and then Brad playing with an orchestra, or Carrie, or so forth. So it's going to be a very unique and a very cool experience. And then on top of that, the cause that you're with as well, that you're
I think, and we're keeping it local.
Yep.
B, they're a nonprofit organization that is about music education for the young adult. So what better way? I mean, that would be right up Danny's wheelhouse. You know what I mean? He loved kids, and he loved just, again, the whole giving back thing. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's like full circle. And it's a chance we can use Night Ranger one more time before it becomes too redundant. And then we look at something else next year.
So when is the date of the show?
So it'll be Wednesday, November 9th. It's going to be at the KeyBank State Theater at Playhouse Square in downtown Cleveland. So KeyBank is the presenting sponsor of the theater. Their advertising sponsor. It is the State Theater. It seats about 3,100 people. Tickets will go on sale July 11th at 11 a.m. That's what time they start their box office. And tickets will be at playhousesquare.org. It's not like Ticketmaster or Access. They have their own in-house stuff. We will offer a Fans in Motion fan club VIP pre-sale.
Very cool.
I suggest this could be better selling wise than the first show real quick. So we're giving you guys enough opportunity time wise to schedule it, and hopefully a lot of people could come. I think it's going to be a huge attendance wise with you guys, with just normal fan club people, with a lot of the Night Ranger family and everything else. So it's going to be pretty wild, because it's only going to happen once, and this is it.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
So November 8th, Wednesday.
November 9th.
Tuesday, yeah.
November 9th.
Yeah, Tuesday's the 8th.
Now, like last year, are you going to have like the discount hotel code and everything?
Yeah. So it'll be at the Holiday Inn Rockside again in Independence. And once I get all of the codes and all that stuff, you all can share it in your world and in the social platforms.
All right.
And then always, we have our own website now, so it's DannyRipepi.com. So everything will, if you go to that, it'll take you to the K9 website, which is, the underwriter of everything, as far as our charity goes. So it'll bring you to that, and then that'll have the frequently asked question. It'll have everything will go there, but we just decided to create our own website for that. That way you don't have to go to 19 different things to find it and get all the information.
All right. So November 9th, Key Bank State Theater.
Right.
Tickets on sale July 11th. And if you're on Facebook, like I said, go to the Danny Ripepi Memorial page, go to Fans in Motion. You're going to get all that information. We'll make sure we
and
get
like
there.
it and follow it, because A, it helps, but B, everything gets hit there. So the marketing team from the funeral home kind of, hits that right away first, and then you can expand from there.
You have ticket prices established yet?
Yes. Let's just call it 25 to 100.
Okay.
Pretty standard.
Yeah.
Not bad, really.
No, not at all. I mean, if you want to get in the building, right? If you want to get in the building like last year, it's $25. I need to be fair to everybody.
Sure.
If you want a pretty good seat, because it's the theater, so you're angled up and everything, and there's nothing in your way. The 35 and the 55 are pretty badass. And it's two levels. You have the mezzanine and the orchestra. Well, and again, it's State Theater, Key Bank State Theater, playhousesquare.org, and they have a very good website, so you can really see everything.
And you got to remember, like I said, this is a unique show, and the profits are going for a good cause. So also we were talking beforehand, because with Fans in Motion, a lot of us are going to be traveling there. I'll get details later, but we'll probably set something up the night before where all the Fans in Motion can meet, and we can have some drinks, get that all out of the way. So I'll put some details when I get those up as well. Now, for this show, do you think there'll be any? Is the youth orchestra recording this? Is there any because with Styx and Tommy Shaw, they eventually released it.
Yeah.
Is Night Ranger?
So those are in negotiations, and I'd rather that information come out from the band than me at this point.
All right. So
I can tell you there's we're working through it. It's just a matter of.
Yep. All right. So there's
out there ahead of time. So
there's at least some talk. So there you go, guys. If you're sitting out there and you've been wanting some unique Night Ranger experiences, there you go.
Gotta be there. You have to.
November.
You missed last year, but this is gonna be unbelievable. I cannot wait for this.
Well, let's talk a little bit about last year. So last year, maybe last year was the 8th, September 8th, maybe. Is that right?
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
So last year, September 8th was the first Danny Ripepi Memorial show. It was again in Cleveland. It was at it's not the Nautica.
Jacobs Pavilion.
Yeah.
Jacobs Pavilion.
It'll always be the Nautica.
Yeah. And we were all there. So tell us a little bit about how last year went. And you mentioned it briefly about the 5 dogs you guys were able to purchase. Right. Talk about the results of last year's show.
I was exhausted.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, I had Cheryl, who's been a longtime friend of mine. She's in the industry. And she was kind of my executive producer. And then I had Sandy, who was our former graphic artist for the funeral home, and now Anna Maria is our new one. And I was just like, I got to deal with my band and my crew, but yet I had to deal with 3,000 people because it was my event, and let's face it, my brothers are funeral directors and embalmers. They don't know how to throw out a concert. So it all laid on me. And I mean, that was the first time I used my ear packs, because I needed to hear everything. If they needed me, I was saying hello to people because I didn't want to be rude. I mean, people came out that I didn't even expect to come out. Like, I got to tell you, like when your high school classmates show up, and we have a very close, high school.
Mm-hmm.
We're all pretty close together still, but I was like, holy crap, you're here. You know what I mean? Just like, and then you realize who's really a fan too. Like, oh, I've been to like 6 shows and I love them and this, that, and the other. So, and just people that didn't know me, but saw me somewhere, whether it was on the news, the local news, you guys, and just reached out. I mean, it was pretty emotional that whole night. I came home and I was just like I just sat down at the kitchen table and I just cried my eyes out just because it was everything, it was that whole evolution. And then when we donated the dogs, when we did the press release for that, I was talking to Natalie from Fox 8, and she was like, how do you feel? And I'm like, it's emotional, because like the day he died to what are we going to do? And then now we're going to do a concert, and what the hell are you thinking about? We're doing a concert. You're nuts. And then holy crap, we never expect this. And so that whole circle of life, I don't know. I made a Lions King. Is that his Fockers, or is that a Lion King? Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where you deal with his death, how untimely it was, dealing with the grief, the loss of a brother, and then wanting to do something in his name, organizing it, putting it all together, then getting close to the event and everything starting to become real, and the pressure and everything's on your shoulders, and then the emotional aspect of everything along with the hard work you're doing. And then we talk about the circle ends or starts over again when you're at your kitchen table and it's all completed. And
quiet.
It's like, now what do you do? You've done.
And, oh, by the way, I have 14 people I have to deal with on a daily basis at a rock show. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna put these in, and if y'all need me, just yell and I'll come run. So
you should just join me at the bar and just let it win.
Josh didn't have any of that stress.
Yeah, I was.
No.
I mean, his biggest stress was thinking I kept drinking his drinks.
And
I want to thank you guys for like a lot of stuff, and being a supporter and platinum supporter or whatever you guys did. You had a table, and it was just, I think it was a fun night for everybody. I mean, people seeked you guys out. We got some good pictures.
Yes.
That kind of stuff. So
we had a blast.
The landscape was so cool, and the city just came out. And I mean, when my who came out? One of the guys came out. Might have been Dave. It was like, Dave, Ed, why is the bomb squad here? I'm like, because they're my friends. They know us. And
that makes you nervous, though.
Well, they, being in the funeral business for so long in Cleveland, it's like all my rock friends are coming in that work with me every day. They're like, holy crap, Ed's family's, they know people, kind of stuff. So it was cool. Like, why are the dogs here? Well, there's a reason. I explained the whole dog situation, and they have bomb sniffing dogs that come out and search. We got 3,000 people here, so they have the dogs, and so this show will have all the dogs there that we bought for all the cities. So that'll be fun too.
That's great.
That was probably, I had told the guys, I think that was my best experience at a Night Ranger show. Period. Well, I've gone since 1983 to see these guys. Sometimes, most of the time with Andy. It can't be that much fun with him,
Come on.
No, seriously. No, just meeting all these people. And Ed, I got to take my hat off to you. I probably asked you a half dozen to a dozen times, and you probably don't even remember. Is there anything I can do? Because you looked so focused, and sometimes a little confused at the same time, because you were just being pulled in every direction.
It's funny you say that. So let's elaborate on that. So number one, I had 12 volunteers. I'm like, oh, that's plenty. Bullshit, and that was one of when we met with my brothers and the accountants and all that, and they're like, we kind of just did a kind of a recap, and Cheryl was there and all that, and like, what was our need? And the biggest thing was we need more volunteers. I mean, it was a lot, and so that was one of the stipulations too, is who has a good infrastructure when we started interviewing charities that were going to be the recipient of this. And the Contemporary Youth Orchestra has a very good infrastructure. They've been around for a little while. I love their culture and what they stand for and what they deliver. And I'll go into that a little later, but as far as that goes, it was definitely like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And I'm not that I'm a control freak, but I have a vision, and you don't take me off my vision. And I'm sure everybody's just start laughing when they hear this, but I was definitely, that would be it, would be the volunteers. And now we have like managers of the volunteers and all that kind of stuff. So that is happening. And yes, that was the biggest thing I needed. And I did hear a lot of, the only major complaint, we'll call it, was we had such great prizes and big prizes.
Yes.
But I think we're going to use a QR code this year instead of like downloading, because I guess when you say Danny Ripepi, whatever fundraiser, it brought up all different things, Apple or Android, whatever. And it was hard to get to the website. So I know this year we're going to do what'd I say?
QR code.
QR code.
QR code.
Yeah. As soon as you walk in the theater, there's going to be two big, signs, snap here, and then you're good. You're in. Everything will be in and if there's some really big stuff, and we had a freaking smoker last year, and like, we're not going to bring the smoker this time. It's just going to be on an acrylic plaque saying you get X.
Yeah.
And just keep it all in baskets itself, so Pony can just walk out with that basket, because I mean, we had boxes on boxes and boxes. So you learn. Listen, we met our goal. I can't argue. It was great. But I will say a quick story about you, Brent. You're sitting there during sound check, and I think we were done, or and Jack wanted to go see my brothers and just see all the prizes and all that stuff. And he walks back. He's like, "Hey, Brent," and I mean, you were like,
Yeah, I talked about that on the show because I had just walked into sound check. There was nobody there. There was people there, but I had my Fans in Motion business card. I said, "Yeah, I'm with Night Ranger," and the guy goes, "Okay, go on." And I climbed over the barrier, and as I walk around the corner, Jack Blades is the first person I saw. And do you know how?
Walking with them.
Yeah, and I told Andy and Josh, I said, "Do you know how surreal it is to? I mean, this guy has been an idol of mine since I was a child, And hey, Brent," and I'm like,
Yes.
Hey, Jack," and it's like, it just, and I didn't want to bother him. I didn't know what to do. It just takes you out of your zone,
Yeah, he just froze and started rubbing his nipples.
No, I didn't do all that yet. Now I think when in Wilmington this summer, that wouldn't be a problem. I'm used to it now.
Yeah. He says that.
It caught me off guard.
And then when you brought him, I forgot what show you brought him. Was it Indiana? And he was like, "Come on stage," and you're like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Come on with me."
Yeah.
Got behind the set, and he did say, "Oh shit, Andy's gonna be pissed."
Oh, listen, he sent me the picture. There was a reason I couldn't make it at the last minute, and when he sent me his picture and I sent it to my wife, I was like, "Man, look at this," and my wife felt bad because I couldn't go because she had to go out of town, and her mother had some illness that needed somebody here to take care of her.
Right.
And my wife's like, "Oh my God, I feel horrible." I was like, "I didn't send you the picture for that." But I was like,
"Yeah, you did."
Damn it. And then he's like, "Yeah, Jack said hi to me." I'm like, "Damn it."
Well,
because we had these guys, and I'm sure you've heard so many times, but literally like our rooms were covered with pictures of Night Ranger and Kiss. Yeah. So, one of the guys comes off your wall and says hi to you. Yeah, that's 40 years you look at that picture.
I was there with Vince Neil and Brett Michaels when I went to Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp when all this started. I was like, "Here's my credit card."
It's odd. It is just odd.
Well, that same day in Indiana, that's when we were back there and they were signing the books for ATBPO to be shipped off to Japan and what have you. And Jack looks up.
You rubber band all these together.
Yeah, I was organizing them and what have you, and then Jack looks at me and I said, "Hi, Jack. I'm Brent Walter." And he goes, "I know who you are." I'm like, I didn't know if that was good or bad. I was like, okay.
He's full of crap. That's cool.
We had warned him previously that day about you.
So anyway, circling back to that.
Yeah.
Brent, when you said, "Can I help you?" I appreciate everybody always asking. But sometimes I was just like, let me just plow through this and get this done. So.
Yeah. Well, no, it just if there was any small task I could do as far as just going up to someplace and getting paperwork you needed, I've done it.
No, I know.
And if you do need his help, I do recommend keeping the task small. Don't give him.
He has no clue.
Don't give him too much.
So as you touched on, I did want to just make sure. So at the last year's event, one of the things that my wife and I both really enjoyed was the booths and the auction, the silent auction stuff and all. Right. Is that stuff going to still be? I know you won't be able to have the same kind of setup because of the venue, but will there be stuff like that? Is that what you're kind of getting at?
Yeah, good call. So there will be silent auction items. It will be through the same website app, but it'll be a lot easier to obtain that app.
Yeah.
And they'll be much more visible.
Okay.
From what I
Yeah,
understood,
there was
last year,
some
like,
great stuff. Like we were looking
Yeah.
at it, and I kept like, "Can I bid?" And she's like, "No." I was like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, Andy, I love the story you told me because I missed it. The guy bidding on the gigantic box on the stage.
It was fantastic. He's up in the
And-
very top the top of the arena, and he keeps yelling, keeps going up higher and higher. Josh, I don't know if you guys remember this, but the bid kept going up, and finally, the guy who's doing I don't think he's really going to pay for this. I think like he was kind of joking, like, I don't know. This guy keeps jacking the price up, and he kept going and kept going. So he finally comes down, like hands him his credit card. He's like, "Let's go. I want to buy
What was
this."
it? $1,500 or something like that?
It was crazy, but like
it was
inside
like
was
2,200.
Wow.
yeah, that box. I don't know if you probably remember what was on that, but it was insane. I'm like, wow, what a value.
So what that was everything, you tell everybody we need everything in by X. Well, naturally X doesn't happen, but we need to finish X because you have to go to print with everything. So that was everything we got after X. And I'm like,
Wow.
just throw it in a box. I don't want to see it on my shelf. I don't want to be dealing with this stuff because
Yeah.
somebody's going to come and go, I donated that. Where's it at? And I'm not going to hear that stuff. So we literally took all that stuff and put it in a box. And
It was
said,
amazing. I mean, there were meet and greets, there were autographed memorabilia.
yeah,
I
there
can't remember everything.
$1,000 cash and you donated it back.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was fantastic.
Yeah. So that was last year.
Let's talk about some more Night Ranger stuff. So last if you're listening to this, it'll be last weekend, but while we're recording this, it was last night. The Mighty Night Ranger and the Starship featuring Mickey Thomas played Norman, Oklahoma, and there was some cool stuff coming out of that, photo wise and video wise. How was that show there, Ed?
It was I used the word epic. So we'll go chronologically. First of all, in Norman, Oklahoma, it's hot. Okay, it's very humid. And I learned a few things. When it is humid and hot during the day, the winds kick up. So on a stage, we have a wind meter when we have a portable stage. And that wind meter, certain stages are built for certain winds. And at 40 miles an hour, you have to evacuate the stage. So while we were setting up during the day, like they couldn't put the cymbals on Kelly's drums because literally the wind would have taken it. That big rack and the spaceship would have went flying. Howard didn't put any of the mics on the mic stands because what was going on? The mic stands were falling over. So our crew is awesome, and they've got well over 100 years to combine, in the industry. And I never saw concern like I saw that yesterday. And they were like, I don't know, Ed, I don't think this is going to happen. You might want to start making phone calls. And I'm like, we got too many people coming. We're going to ride this thing out, and I'm like throwing suggestions. And something you got to understand. I ran restaurants all my life. I know business. I'm learning this industry, but I know logistics, and that's what we need. But that's why we have Howard and Dave and Steve and Joe and Ryan and Angela here for me. And I'm like trying to throw out suggestions, and you can see them like, all right, enough, but I'm like, no, what can we, I'll get you sandbags, So they bring me sandbags and these 50-pound sand in bright orange. That'll match our colors. Don't worry about it. No one will care. But I saw concern on Howard and Dave's face when this was going on. So we got up to 39 miles an hour during the day for setup. And then the one of the production company owners, like, it should subside by 5 o'clock. When it gets cooler, the winds go down. Sure enough, the winds went down, and Night Ranger caused a traffic jam in Norman, Oklahoma, of about 10,000 people.
Yeah, the crowd looked huge.
It was a record crowd. They've done this event for 6 years. They do it 4 times a year. It's basically, they call it the Beats and Eats. So it's like food trucks and, basically, food trucks, we'll just call it, and music. And they've never had a level of our standard. I think this was like the first time they had a really big national act. And I had to take the police and go get Night Ranger because they were stuck on the road and couldn't get in.
Really?
That's awesome.
So,
not for you, but for.
Oh no, I was excited because I'm like, I want to see this happen. And I'm talking to the they budgeted for 5,000. Angela sold out before the second song on merch because we budgeted for 5,000. There's just no getting around it.
Yeah.
And 10,000 showed up. Over 10,000 showed up, and it was like, I looked at the security director and I'm like, "You prepared for this? We're getting there." They called in the troops, so it was awesome. It was a great.
Crazy was the crowd. I mean, were they just singing along and going crazy?
Oh yeah. It was pretty wild. I mean, it was loud. It was reactive. I'm gonna try to pull something up here if I can do it.
There's a picture that somebody took up behind from. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's Kelly and Carrie. It looks like on stage. It's fantastic. It's a great shot of just Kelly in action. You probably know what I'm talking about.
I took the credit.
That's a fantastic shot. Yes, look at that.
I mean, that's the crowd. That's not Kelly. That was the crowd. That wasn't Kelly.
And just think, 40 years into their career, just think of the two shows they've had on these back-to-back weekends. So you have this show in Norman, Oklahoma, and then last week you had the pop-up show, just real quick, replacement show, 29 Palms. And we posted the video footage where that show is just wild. And
so wait, let's go to that show for a quick second.
Yeah.
So I get the call from James, band manager, and we just got an emergency request. Can we move everybody in 36 hours? And I'm like, what's going on? We have a show in 29 Palms on Saturday. And I'm like, oh man, I got catering. I got to work with the dog. That's going through my mind. Howard's probably got something. I mean, we all had something. So we pulled it off. We get there. And I'm like, military base. This will be unique, So we get there and we go in and I'm like, these kids are 19 years old. Jack's like, I could be their grandfather, that kind of stuff. And they were just so receptive. They were so thankful that we helped them in the first fall. And I'm not going to go in the backstory, but they were so helpful that we were there and thankful. And I mean, I got to tell you, Josh, military food isn't too bad.
Well, you were at a Marine base.
Hoorah.
Not as bad. It's a totally different story if you're at an Army base.
Okay.
And overseas.
Right. Anyways, so they were wonderful. And the guys came in, did their thing, and you see 19-year-olds singing Sister Christian and chanting. And so it was funny because Angela was helping Steve focus the lights and got up on the risers. And they're like screaming and just chanting, I mean, and then she go to the other riser and everybody scream and chant again. And so they were singing and everybody knows Sister Christian, I mean, and Jack builds it up and they went nuts and they were crowd surfing. And I mean, mosh pitting. It was like, there was a point where I was literally next to Kelly's stage. I thought guys were coming on stage. James is like, I think someone's coming on stage. I'm like, I think you're right, and military police were there. And then believe me, let me tell you one thing. And Josh, you probably can back this up. You do not play with military police on a military base. I don't care if you're a soldier, a Marine, a Navy corpsman, or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't mess with the military police. And they are. And here was the crazy part. Very often you don't see dudes on top of dudes' shoulders too much, but a Marine base because they're all bros, And then they were crowd surfing and they would just drop these kids, you know what I mean? And they'd be like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" But the one time the kid did damage his neck, the police they're walking.
Oh my gosh!
Don't move, Oh, it was ridiculous, dude. I was like,
that's probably never happened at a Night Ranger concert before.
I know.
I made a joke about that on the page. I said that's probably the first time they've ever crowd surfed at a Night Ranger show. I said next show I'm at, I'm starting a mosh pit, and you're talking about a mosh pit being there.
Yeah. So it was military personnel and military employees, Josh, right?
Yeah,
civilian employees, right? Okay.
Yep.
That's
So I talked to Brad. Brad said that was the wildest crowd he's ever experienced with Night Ranger. And he said he's probably never experienced anything like that, maybe since Ozzy. And yeah, you get that. Well, so with, a military type show like that, one, you're probably out in the middle of nowhere. There's not a lot going on. And if you're in the military and you got a reason to party, you're going to party.
Yes.
And
these guys just got done with a 60-day training session.
yeah,
The
so
commanding chief and all that came to the commander of the property, the base came and
yeah,
talked
so
to us about it.
they're ready to party. And
Yeah.
and I saw a lot of these comments where afterwards, like it was a country act that was supposed to be there and had to cancel. And a lot of these guys probably didn't know who Night Ranger was. And if they did, they only knew it from Sister Christian.
Right.
And then just like we all got stories when they actually see Night Ranger, wow, they're more than that. It's a rock show. They sound good. Yeah, that even hypes it up even more.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, it's like I said, and then you're with you just get out of a 60-day training thing, you're with your buddies, you're going to let loose, man, and have fun. And it's good that Night Ranger was able to, in such short notice go and do something like that. So kudos to you guys for making that happen on
So I
such
bet
short notice.
did Rockin' America had to go crazy, right? When the flags come out and everything.
We don't do the flags anymore.
I mean, like the backdrop. I mean, he had to.
Yeah, no, it did go well. I mean, it's you feel the love of the United States, and those kids and adults, and I mean, I call them kids too, but
Yeah, well, they are.
like anybody, like from the first youngest kid there to the oldest, you feel the electricity.
Yeah, that would have been great to be at that show.
Defending that flag. Yeah, you feel it.
Yeah. And I mean, a little side note, and these bases, not necessarily much anymore, just like any really thing, but these bases would have back in the 70s and 80s, they would have kind of like hotels where they had traveling circuits where they would come play. These bases in California would have those circuits as well, where bands would come in on weekends and play the NCO clubs and stuff like that. So there used to be this tradition of outside bands coming in and playing for the troops on the weekends and stuff. And so it kind of harkens back to that. But if you haven't yet, go search out the footage for the 29 Palms show. It's great. Like I said, Sister Christian's playing, and all of a sudden you see boots going over someone's head and their body surfing up. And all I could think was, I haven't lived. Like I haven't lived, man.
Well, I got to tell you, there was so much clothing on that stage, and it wasn't all bras and panties, but there was quite a few bras and panties as well.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. There was one bra that got thrown up on stage that covered half of Brad's guitar.
So what else we got in the future of Night Ranger? You're going to be a busy man this summer. You got not only the traditional weekend shows, but you've got the weekday shows as well. Some Kid Rock, Night Ranger opening for Kid Rock, and some other stuff. Busy schedule.
Yeah. So
we're some more in the Midwest.
We're hitting the West Coast as well. So I'll be quick. Toledo, Troy, Coralville, Iowa.
Now, Troy's a private show.
Oh, like I said, Toledo, Coralville, St. Michael, Minnesota, Arnold's Park, Iowa, Mequon, Wisconsin, Turlock, California, Sacramento, California, Minot, North Dakota. That's the Kid Rock show.
Why not?
Then the next day is Wilmington, so that's going to be a hell of a push.
Yep, that's where you'll see their smiling faces and mine.
Yes. Cheyenne for Frontiers Days. We're playing with Kid Rock again. Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah.
McMinnville. What is that? Oregon. Yeah. Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Marysville, Ohio.
Marysville. Arcadia, Wisconsin, Gibson City, Illinois, Gatlinburg for the Monsters on the Mountain.
Yep.
And then Wellington.
Nope. Not announced.
It is now.
So, we're playing in Wellington, all right?
Gatlinburg.
Hey, you heard it first.
I won't say anymore.
Josh will believe. He'll fix that in post.
But yeah, then there's some Kentucky shows. Well, there is a Kentucky show one has not been announced yet.
Right.
But yeah,
I can tell you that there's going to be another Las Vegas show eventually, and oh gosh, some Texas shows.
Yep.
You know, we're going to Japan again.
There you go. I don't think no one
And-
knows that. So
I
Nice.
get,
now they do.
do you need 3 helpers?
I got a passport and I'm vaccinated.
I know.
And I
know-
don't really have a job. I mean, I can kind of help out with rigging and staging.
I know Domo Arigato.
Mr. Roboto.
And I know Konnichiwa and Hashu Hashu. Bless you.
Mr. Sparkala.
Yep. And we're going to Europe next week. How about them apples?
Yeah.
Europe.
Sweden
Rock
and
Rock the Ring.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
No England. Huh? When are you guys going to England? We got a lot of English fans that like to tell us on how unhappy they are because they don't get to see you guys in England.
We got a guy, Mark Greenway, who needs to see him over there.
Yeah, Mark's the one
Again.
that carries painting the guitar for.
So
Yeah.
I
So
told him
Ed-
to go up to Sweden. He just didn't think that was was an option for him.
Ed, make it happen, buddy. You're the man.
I'll put him on the guest list if he can make it there.
There you go.
All right, we'll pass
You
that
hear
on
that,
to
Mark?
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark's already. Oh,
You
he's
might want to edit. You might want to
Yeah.
edit this stuff.
Yeah,
Just Mark.
Mark
Son-
just
I
spilled
need
his
to know- I
tea.
need
Yeah.
to know ASAP.
suddenly there's 50 Mark Greenaways in Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark gets up and turns the podcast on in the morning and he makes his tea. And if he hears his name, he goes crazy. You know, he's a
Well,
good guy.
Mark, November 9th will be a good show for you to come to.
Yep, come to the States and
Yeah, we're trying to get him over here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
all right. What are
Let's
we
circle
missing?
back.
Let's circle
I-
back.
Let's circle back to the show at least.
I
Cut
wanted
this
to.
all out.
I
Cut
wanted
this
to.
all out, like, and edit this, but let's circle back eventually.
I'm
So
keeping
I don't know
it
if you
all.
want to
Ed.
bring.
I'm bringing,
don't know
I'm
if you wanna-
keeping it all, Ed. I'm keeping
It's
it all.
fine, you can.
Now,
Now,
yeah,
Brent,
we
what do you
we could add beef in front of Wellington if you need to. Anyway, about the show.
Bad. That's bad.
What I know, hey, what's what you get since
What show?
your
What
show,
Okay. You
the Danny Ripepi Memorial
Do
2.
like a one. Do you want to do like a 1, 2, 3 and then go so you can edit? Or we?
Oh no, I'm just circling back. Since you talked about the orchestra and what have you, my mind's been going crazy about the songs that they can do that they never have done or haven't done in a long time.
Let me pull up on my other monitor here.
Yeah, we can help put together that set list if you need a little help.
Yeah, I mean,
don't worry. Josh has already tried to do that. So
I mean, it
Josh,
just.
good work, Josh.
I mean, I instantly hear "Let Them Run" in my head with an orchestra. I'm hearing
Hold on,
all this.
Hold on. When I just opened up my file, did you see all that?
Nope.
No, no.
Good, that means
No,
I
we
looked
don't
at
see
it.
anything.
All right. Give me a minute.
No, we didn't see anything.
Did you or not?
No,
No.
we didn't. No, that's my Norm Macdonald. No.
All right, where's it at? I can't tell you what it's going to be.
No, of course you can't.
But
I don't know-
but it's going to be cool. and
There's
it's gonna be
some
unique.
there's some deep tracks.
I can't
Keep
wait.
wanting to- my favorite song by them is Penny, and I keep wanting to play it. They don't play it for me. You think my own show they'd play it for me? But
That's your favorite song? Come on.
It is. I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't know there was a real Penny until Eric told us a
Oh,
while
there's
back.
Rubicon.
Yeah, we had no clue.
Okay, there's a couple of deep tracks. They'll be good. 1, 2, 3,
And even the songs that aren't the deep tracks that we heard, they will have, like I said,
15.
unique arrangements to them because of the youth orchestra. So there you go, November 9th, Wednesday,
So
family
so let's-
vacation.
let's circle back. So the youth orchestra. So I reached out to them and left them a voicemail and an email the same day, like the same time I sent it. And I got a call back in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, my email was like, hi, I'd like to talk to you about a fundraising opportunity and a concert. And, you know, they hear fundraiser and they need money. Their phone call came and a young lady named Kim is their president and executive director. And we told her who I was and what I did. And obviously she remembered my brother's accident and whatnot. And I'm like, does the buck stop with you? Can you make this decision? Because I need to know now. She's like, we're in. I'm like, all right, we're in.
Wow.
So I meet with them. Cheryl and I meet with them. And Ben is their music director. Nice guy, drummer. Like he's got like a master's degree in drumming. It's like I could only imagine what this guy can do, right?
Sure.
If there is such a thing called, I think he's got a math. He's got a lot of letters behind his name that he knows percussion. So he's like, well, one of our things is we don't play. We try to promote the experience for the kids, and that's what I'm going to bring the guys in, little by little, to give them that experience with music and whatnot, but also to help them design this show. And Cheryl starts asking them, like, what's your mission statement? And, what do you guys, how do you, what is it something you look at? Do you have any catchphrases? And he goes, now, mind you, I don't think he's from Cleveland. So he's like, well, part of our shtick is we don't play dead white people. We don't play dead white guys' music. In other words, they don't play Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, right? So I'm like, nah, we can't use that. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm in the funeral business and my brother died and he was white. Won't work. And he was like, you should have seen the look of death on this guy. Because I came like real casual about it. I'm like, what's the matter? And I'm like, we're in the funeral business. My brother died and he's white. And he's like,
you really just ticked all the boxes.
And I was like, I'm not kidding, but I mean, I'm trying to make it as comfortable as possible with you. So it is kind of cool though that when they say they don't play dead white guys music, because they really do play contemporary stuff. So little side piece.
That's that's fantastic.
I'm full exposure. I'll release any information. So
so what else we got, guys? What do you got? Ed on the horn there, Brent and Andy. What do you want to ask him?
I know Andy's our first time.
No, I'm excited. I just I can't wait. I started out in orchestra. I started playing drums when I was 7 and played in an orchestra in high school and all that stuff. So it kind of hits home with me too. I love that. I love that these, and I've watched the Tommy Shaw stuff with the orchestra, and I'm like, God, that is so cool. The arrangement is so cool. So you announcing that has got me super excited. If you saw me looking, I was texting my wife like, hey, we're not out of town. Are we on these dates? Because I need to be in Cleveland. Not want to, I need to be.
Yeah.
So
and I told Andy, I said, you got to pick me up on the way up, because my daughter's getting married literally 3 weeks after that. So it's good. I know.
Can Night Ranger play the wedding reception? That would be super cool.
December 3rd.
You could raise some money.
And then we can wing off to Japan the next day. I'll be ready. But no, so I'm going to have a chaotic life between October and December. So I'm going to do my damnedest to make it up there. That's why I told Andy, I said, you're going to have to come get me.
Yeah. It's funny, Ed laughs when you say chaotic.
Yeah, I know.
None of us understand chaotic life.
What we got to do is somehow we have to have Kelly playing a timpani. Something. I mean, I think that the limits, the skies are the limits for the guy.
Do the Sister Christian bill.
Exactly. I know, that's what we were already thinking.
There's so much I want to say, but I don't want to say. I can't say it.
Yeah, don't. I want to be surprised.
We're the only band playing. First of all, there's no opening act. They'll be our host, and stuff like that. But there will be no opening act. It'll be just 100 and some kids behind Night Ranger.
It's gonna be so cool.
We're creating a whole different scheme of sets and theatrics and everything. I'm telling you, it's good. It's a once in a lifetime show. I'm not saying that just to sell tickets.
I'm already telling
you.
Touch of Madness with the dun dun dun, with the orchestra playing that part. I'm hearing it. You don't have to confirm it, Ed, but in my head, it's happening.
Oh God!
I told it. My one suggestion.
Dun 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 dun.
They're going to put whammy bars on the violins. Sorry.
Was Rain Comes Crashing Down.
Oh.
Wow, all three of you just lost your mind.
It's such a great song, Ed. Such a great song.
And it's a song built for the orchestra.
And there's so much that they got to realize. I mean, it's going to be a show for the fans. The fans are going to be the ones there. The fans are going to be the ones that know this shit, Oh,
that would be awesome.
Told you, Ed.
Just saying.
Anyways,
can I just say I've never heard the song? Hold on.
What?
saving with customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual.
That's why Penny's his favorite song.
Hey,
He has
our
her.
sponsor is Gorilla Glue, not whatever you're playing there.
I'm on YouTube on my phone trying to say what's this song?
When we were talking about this probably a month ago, I sent him the link to Rain Comes Crashing Down, and you can see how far that link went.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's
Oh,
built
now I
for
see what you
symphony.
mean.
Yeah, you can play it out, man. We don't care.
Yeah, we'll get a copyright claim on my.
Get a ding on that one.
I know a guy.
But,
That's all it is.
yeah, just
Oh, it's so good.
I'll
I
tell you.
can't-
I'll tell
It's a
YouTube.
deep
I'll
cut,
mail
yeah.
him the check directly.
It just
Um,
builds and builds and builds.
Perfect
Like
song.
Tool's gonna start coming out of this song or something, like the band
Yeah.
Tool. Or
Ding, ding, ding.
I'll
No,
I'll look at it later.
the fans would lose their mind collectively if they started hearing the piano part.
Well,
Eric
I mean, at
playing
least
it.
us three would absolutely
I
go
was saying,
crazy.
No, I'm
Ed would be
telling
like,
you.
great. Those three are having a great time. The other
Everybody else-
3,000 are just like, the hell is this song?
we want Sister Christian.
Play Sister Christian.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that's what's going on, man. It's gonna be a crazy summer run. I mean, I think the month of June, I'm home 3 days, man. My dog's gonna be like, "Who are you? And why am I not biting you?" You know.
Yeah. Do you got anything in your hotel you can show it all, since you're not in your office? And I don't want you lifting your shirt up or anything like that. I mean, you can. I'm going to look away. Josh might like it. Josh has got his eyes closed. Nothing? Not even a cool.
Give me a second.
He's got to be careful what he shows, too.
Eh.
Hey,
Give me a second.
here you go. You can take the calendar that you got taped to your wall there. Take off October, show it real briefly on the screen, and let the fans try to screenshot it so
Yeah.
they can see the unreleased date.
Josh, give him a 3, 2, 1. Pause your screen right now. Like I said, I would love to see more Midwest shows as all the fans joke on the page. Like,
Now-
could you play somewhere other than the Midwest? And I'm like, that's
So-
fine with me.
So does the Night Ranger get most of their mail in Ohio and Wisconsin, since they're there more than they are in their home states?
Or is it because Ed's
Um,
based out of Cleveland and he just like, I want to try to get home once in
Hey.
a while?
The Midwest has built a lot of bands and kept
Yeah,
them.
I mean, they broke. I mean, Sister Christian broke at WMS in Cleveland, so it's
Yeah.
definitely in their wheelhouse. I will say that Norman, Oklahoma is definitely their wheelhouse after last night.
It is now, my Lord.
It was
That's awesome.
insane.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yep.
Well, I said, Josh,
Yeah, I'm upset. Brent, I had nothing to show you.
Not even guitar picks, not even passes, not even that brawl that was on Brad's guitar last week.
Dude,
Somebody had to save that.
I hope no one touched that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
that's why
Hold
Ed
on, I
has
got
a
something.
that's why Ed has a briefcase full of penicillin
Uh,
on the road with him.
They could take that brawl and put it on 2 mic stands and put guitar picks in the cups and pull it back and shoot them out to the crowd.
oh boy. Oh man.
That's a hell of a delivery system right there. God, rain comes crashing down, guys. Could you imagine?
Well, I mean, again, it's built for the symphony. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I have my Sweden and Rock the Ring has
Oh,
its
there
own,
you go.
has its own binder because
Who
there's
else?
so much information.
Who are they playing with on the day of Rock the Ring? Do you know? Or Rock Am
I
Ring?
do. Okay, so let me go in chronological order. We play Sweden Rock first, and we play with Guns N' Roses.
Oh,
That's on our day.
yeah. Yeah.
We play with Social Distortion. Us. So the headliners, Guns N' Roses, then Social Distortion, then us. And then bands, unfortunately, the metal bands of Europe. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
of course.
But that's our Sweden rock show.
That's
that
all right.
day.
Well, they're the best band on the bill that day. So
Then in Rock the Ring, Foreigner's the headliner, Bush, and then us. So we go on. And then a couple other bands before us. But I mean, I'll take that. Us, Bush, and Foreigner.
yeah. It'll be huge. They get big crowds over there.
The only thing I got in my possession right now is a pick.
Check that out.
That's 40th. Okay, that was cool. You got the new Eric Levy one that I designed for him. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I can't see without my glasses on. Hold on. What is this one? This is one from Carrie. I think it's got, what the hell does that say on there? Oh, Las Vegas. It's got a Las Vegas logo on it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
His
like
aces and nails.
Iron
Looks
Maiden.
like Eddie from Maiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that one, I think.
Oh yeah, this is the 40th anniversary logo.
That's cool. Yeah, I
Looking
like
nice.
that.
I
don't have anything. I had a shirt, but you guys said that's not new. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I saw the maybe Steve designed it, I don't know, but it's that 40th anniversary logo, and then across the bottom, like in the angle, it says established 1980.
yeah. So that came from our design team. Steve just had it downloaded so he could put it on the jumbotron behind us.
That was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, and your new stuff behind you guys is looking really good. One of the people posted on the page all the different backgrounds.
Oh,
Looking
listen.
great.
If anybody ever had, that's our quick mock-up, but this is the more current one with the 40th in the middle and then the established.
Yeah, that looks great.
If anyone ever has a chance to go see a show in West Wendover, Nevada,
At the Peppermill or something like that.
the Peppermill Concert Club, let me tell you, it has $1 million LED board behind the band, and it is epic what that thing can do. And I mean, Steve was like a kid remember the old Kitty City and Toys R Us, that was Steve that day. Steve's our lighting director. And that was Steve that day. And the stuff that he did. Matter of fact, give me a second because I really want to show you this video.
It looks fantastic. Somebody took a bunch of the stills and put them in
of all the different logos. Yeah.
Right.
And I think Josh, you'd said that's
check real quick. Last night, check that
venues.
picture out of Carrie.
Oh wow, that's great.
Picture?
That's
that
great.
was a
Yeah.
great shot.
Anyways, really cool. Hold on. Let me find that one. It was cool as hell. It was part of Secret of My Success. Let's see if I can make this happen. Bear with me. Look at can you see the cars in New York City? It took place in New York. That's the show.
That's awesome.
Look at the size. That's $1 million LED board.
That's massive.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you guys need to pull your money together and get one of those on the road with you.
Andy could put it together.
I can hook you up with some places down here in Nashville that rent that stuff out.
I don't think our return on investment would be very wise. So, but it was a great show. More and more. I mean, listen, there's a reason why they've been around for 40 years. They change stuff up, whether you like it or not. They make it. It's not the same set, same core foundation set, but they like to change it up, and that also includes our technical aspect of things. So it just makes it more intriguing. But going back to the November 9th show, we're really changing it up there.
I can't wait.
Looking forward to it.
And I'm hoping to have that $1 million board there, or the LED board there, but it will be rented, not bought.
Oh yeah.
Looking for a sponsor.
There you go. If you have $1 million board sitting,
I will.
Idly
I'll talk
by.
to some of the people I work for down here. See if one of them can
I
send
have
one up.
Yeah.
The
price of diesel right now, no one's doing nothing free.
I know I have a diesel truck myself. I don't drive it.
Although
right now.
I was just here. It was $4.29 here for gas here. I almost fell over.
Yeah, it's what it was down here in Nashville, but my diesel's like $5 something. And I just park my truck. I only drive it to move it out of the driveway. I can't drive.
Yeah, well, I just got a brand new SRT and it's 13 miles a gallon, but it's fun as hell to drive.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was at Sam's last week filling up, and a guy with an RV was next to me, and I said, I said, where you headed to? He goes, well, I'm headed to Amelia. That's just a small little town that's 15 miles away from where we were. He goes, I just came back from the West Coast. He goes, I didn't stop at all in California for gas. He said it cost him, let's see, it got 7 miles to the gallon, and it cost him like $2,000 to fill it up. And he said it was cheaper to tour the country in an RV and go to campgrounds than it was to go to hotels and, pay for gas in a car.
There's no doubt. I mean, I travel a lot, and I'm starting to see more positivity, but yet you still get like, why is it taking so long? Well, we don't have enough help. Oh, bullshit. I'm tired of hearing that crap. Go back to work, people.
Yeah. Oh no, you're right.
Exactly.
So,
well,
go ahead.
I think people are going back to work. They're just not going back to work for $10 an hour, when other businesses are starting to pay anywhere from 15 to 17 bucks, basically starting out. You're not going to get people, paying,
No,
like I see places, they keep offering the same jobs, $9.25 an hour. And you're like, no one's going to take $9.25 when you can go up the road and make 16 bucks. So, I think that's a lot of it as well, is your days of paying single digit, an hour,
right,
are over, especially with what everything.
When pizzas cost you $25 for a large plain pizza, I don't hear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, I'm out of the business now, but
hey, it's capitalism. If you're willing to pay 25 bucks for a pizza, they're going to charge you 25 bucks for a pizza. So, and my oil stocks are doing pretty well. So, keep those prices up. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything crazy. We talked about there's some stuff I just can't talk about. That'll be fun when you guys hear about it. But
well, I think the craziest thing is you guys play in North Dakota, and then the very next day you're in Wilmington. I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, Ed, are you guys still playing Wilmington? Because that seems a little
5:30 wake up call for everybody.
Yeah, it's 7 p.m. show.
How does that go for the guys?
Well, I'm not even sure if there's a wake up call. They might just still be up.
Fortunately, no, we have a game plan, so I have backup. But just pray the Midwest is not under tornado watches, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. That's only 25 minutes from my house. I will be there. I'll be there early, so be prepared. Just so you know.
His picture will be on the stage. Watch out for this
guy.
Not
let this guy in.
What else we got?
A couple of those. Huh?
Anything else we're missing here?
Talked about the show. Talked about Danny's show, and we did. We got some new merch coming.
Cool.
Will it be in time for Wilmington? That's July 23rd. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. And if you do a VIP package, we have some new memorabilia that we're giving away with that as well.
Cool. You get, and I hear that you have one drum head per show that you sell.
You want it, you better get it.
Yeah,
one autographed.
Listen, don't ask Angela if it's authenticated. Okay, number one. Number two, you better buy it while you still see it on the shelf, because you're not going to see any more for that night.
I mean,
go ahead. Go. Come on.
What do people think? It's just you back there signing it? I mean, the band's here.
I got a stamp.
I mean, come on.
Well, back in the day, the road crew would do stuff like that to hook up with the women back, 70s and 80s. They just take something back, say autograph, and come back, and then
I'm totally against that. Not at all.
Well, how do you think they got their autographs in the 80s?
All right, we need to wrap it up, Josh.
Brent's like, I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm a big Jack Blades fan.
That never happened. Now,
So it'll be good by the time. Well, hell, when you guys, give me a second. So I'll have to feed you guys some shots from Rock the Ring and
yes,
Rock.
Absolutely.
I'll try to get as much as I can back to you guys right away. But yeah,
Oh.
by the time you see this video, we'll be in.
And I will see you
Cleveland.
in Toledo, June 24th.
Yep.
I'm gonna try for Toledo. Definitely see you in Wilmington.
Yeah. A lot
And
of
Cleveland.
dates.
Cleveland for sure. I'd like to be in Sweden. I just don't know if I
Yeah,
can pull
that'd be
that off
awesome.
in the next week or so.
I'll bring some chocolate. I'll bring some chocolate back.
Oh, geez.
We'll be in Switzerland.
That's why we love you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, I think I came through on my Kiss Crew stuff though.
Oh, hey, my hat's right here.
My hat's right here.
Guitar picks.
I got it right.
If I take my background off, you can see it.
Right there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I
So-
was. You know, we didn't push this on the page, but Ed had sent us some Kiss Cruise merch, and Ed,
Yeah.
when I opened that up, my wife goes, "Bet if you could just see how much you're smiling." I'm like, that was very thoughtful, and I can't thank you enough.
I felt it in the email you sent me.
Oh my God, my wife's like, "Who's that from?" I was
Well,
like,
I wasn't hint. I was
Night
serious.
Ranger's,
I'd buy it.
main man.
I was willing.
The
I was
gorilla.
willing. I was willing to buy anything you had in your hotel room that they leave.
I got my Night Ranger hat over my shoulder.
Oh, there you go. They did give us robes, like low quality silk robes.
Yeah.
And I gave it to my best friend Brian because he's probably just as big of a Kiss fan as you guys are. So I gave that to him. He's like, it already ripped. I'm like, what are you wearing that around your house for by yourself? Just
Yeah.
admire yourself.
Yeah, really, put that away.
Sell it on eBay later. It's in a package. So,
No, the one thing I was gunning for was they had given fans a record. It was fake record. There was nothing printed on it other than their signatures. And if you had been on all 10 cruises, you got a platinum one, and anybody else got gold ones. And they're a pretty hot commodity.
That's the least they
listen,
could do. If you
I'm
spend-
lucky I got that because we were an artist on the boat. We didn't see any of that stuff.
Well, no, that's very. I mean, look at that. It's wonderful. You're the best.
Yeah.
And in fact, like I said, if there's anything I can personally do with the show you're doing, if there's anything at all, I don't know. Just you know how to get a hold of me. You got my number.
I think this time we got to put you guys in a booth somewhere inside because we'll be inside, so weather will be good. But I think we got to do something like that, and just because I think people just, I mean, it's like people want to know what I always tell the band they know more than your band does.
What was that? At one time you called me. I don't remember who you were with, but I picked up and you were talking to someone.
I was with Cheryl and Anna Maria
and
going over the initial meeting for the concert.
And I hear Ed talking to him like he knows more about them than they do. That was the first things I heard out of Ed's mouth. Like, what's up?
And he's like, I do know. I'm like, yeah.
We need to know.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, wait. Holy shit.
Oh.
Josh, did we talk about the award that we won? Or is that out there?
No.
No.
Well,
I
it's
saw
out
it
there.
on the
it's out
page.
there.
How about Night Ranger won a Telly Award for their video of Breakout?
Yeah.
Pretty wild, huh?
I mean, it is because Night Ranger is 40 years old, and they're still awesome.
And that award is for the number of streams. Is that what it was about?
I don't think it was that. I think it was just for
Production.
the production.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
Production.
awesomeness.
I know it had mentioned how many streams it had, and they had a ton. I'm like, well,
And
they won a Telly.
I need to just release it. There is, here you guys go, some more behind the scenes stuff you'll never get anywhere else. There's an intro to that video. I think it's that video. If not, it's the intro to
the other one.
Where they're like talking and sitting on the bus.
Yeah.
It's about a minute
I showed
long.
that to you.
Yeah, that's hard to make.
We would never. It's never been released.
Not in that version. Yeah.
Yep. So I need to get that out there on the Night Ranger page somewhere, so at least people get to see that. But they just never used it, I guess. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a cool video. I mean, think about how it was about a year this time last year. It was in the May where Breakout first came out. So, I mean, we're hitting that.
Was it already May? Wow.
Yeah, it was in the May when the first single came out. So, and it was a cool video, and definitely deserved. But yes, that was posted, I think, Friday, all that information. So,
And we busted our ass trying to make that album #1. We really did.
Well, I mean, listen, I think it debuted pretty well. So I mean, we did well. I mean, and
Yeah.
believe me, they notice, and I think some fun stuff will be coming your way this year. So
Can't wait.
yeah, and
Can't
we've
wait.
and it's already been a good year. We've gotten
Hear the people's eye going on in there,
got 2 new songs on the Wasted Time EP and Somewhere in California release. So it's a good time to be a Night Ranger fan. A lot of tour dates coming up, and then you got, like I said, this November 8th show, something unique.
40th anniversary.
Okay, listen, you get November 8th. That's all that's important. Get there a day early, okay?
The 8th is going to be the Fans in Motion Drunk Fest.
Yes.
The official 40th anniversary of Night Ranger.
At Ed's house.
So November 8th, just show
Ed's
up.
like, no.
Show up, have some drinks with me. We'll wake up, put on whatever's still clean, and we'll head out to the Night Ranger show on the 9th. But Ed, you got a dinner reservation coming up here.
Yeah.
So what is your parting words with us?
Thank you to everybody for always supporting the machine. Thank you for always reaching out and saying hello when you see us at shows. And let's keep it going. And as the words of Jack Blades, keep it up, keep it way up. I'm out.
Yes.
There we go.
Ed, thank you. We love
Ed.
you. Thanks for all you do for us.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Thank you.
We should real quick. This is what happens, Andy. We're like, okay, we're done, Ed. No, we're not done.
Yeah, stay with it.
I tried to get rid of him.
We should find something fun to do, like the first Fans in Motion guy that comes up to me at a show, like gets something, or like
First Fans in Motion guy that smacks his ass.
So that happened once, and I almost punched the guy in the face.
Like, easy, hero.
First Fans in Motion guy that comes up and does this to him.
Yeah, there we go. Nipple rub.
No.
Nipple rub.
No. He rubs his nipples, not yours.
Not yours.
He goes like this.
So we started
That's where
new
the throat
thing
punch comes in.
where we just got random people coming up to Ed rubbing their nips.
And say, would you like to touch my whammy bar?
Oh, there'd be a lot of Brad and Jack like, what is going on out there?
Hey, Ed, you opened it up.
Yeah, that would be cool though. In all honesty, seriously, Ed,
What,
that'd be
rubbing
great if-
nips?
well, I'm not opposed to that at all, but I'm just saying.
No.
Is if hey man, it's $20 is $20. I don't judge.
He needed the money.
And listen,
But,
and they can't stop rubbing. Like if he's on stage, like working, they have to stand there and rub their nips until Ed actually hits them with a guitar pick.
Like, stop.
Jack. Dear Jack.
No longer.
We are
Talk to
no
Josh.
longer endorsing Fans in Motion.
Josh is no
I am
longer allowed.
buying new backstage passes, billing it to Josh Weaver. Oh, wait a minute. How about that? Ain't that a bitch? How about
What?
somebody's trying to sell a backstage pass?
I saw that.
We see
Who was that?
Just
Oh,
so you know, though,
Nothing.
that pass is no longer existing.
That was
smart ass.
that was the pass before, the one that's being used. I ain't gonna say nothing else about it. I just happened to see it out there. Being
Oh, we're all well aware of it, though.
yeah. So sent that to Edward, and I'm like, Ed, you okay with money? Like, what's going on here, Ed?
Yeah.
You selling your passes, but
But no, seriously, we should work something out where I hide like something or somebody
little
just comes
scavenger hunt.
Well,
kind of like a bounce back to see how good your marketing skills
you
work.
could put a clue. Send us what the clue is. We can post it.
I like the mystery.
All right.
So well, I'd say, listen, this is all in the early stages, this November show. There, if we get something good together the night before and we're going to have the show on Wednesday, there's plenty of opportunities for us to do some cool stuff, maybe even some cool little giveaways the night before, so yeah, just keep staying tuned. And, it's going to be a good time. I mean, we're honoring your brother's legacy. We're seeing Night Ranger. We're helping, support the youth orchestra. My liver is a little bit afraid for Wednesday night, but other than that, it's going to be a good time. And so if you got the opportunity to go, do it. I mean, these opportunities aren't always going to be there. And when they come around, grab a hold of them and take them. So, Ed, thank you for joining us. I'm sure we will see you again.
Oh yeah, once everything gets announced and everything really gets finalized, then we should, meet up again sooner than later, and that'll be a good thing. So
Yep. And I mean, it's all good. It's all fun. It's 2022 and Night Ranger's having one of their best years. I mean, come on. How great is that? So Ed,
and I'll try to give you some behind the scenes and I'll send you some videos right away of what I'll do is I'll send it to all three of you, so that way if somebody's busy or working, Josh is finally working again,
like I wasn't working before.
Well,
He wasn't.
Yeah, you're at home fucking with this thing.
yeah. We're well
Hey,
aware.
your manager.
We're-
By the way, Night Ranger just released the Blue Level album at
Yeah.
red pricing. I just finished my project, and this.
Yeah.
And by the way, that blue record is 20% off this weekend at Newberry Comics.
Is
They
it?
only have a handful left.
I'm in love with you guys. You're like a freaking jukebox. Somebody put in it, push the button. What
Just
comes
let it
out
go.
next?
I got an
All right,
email on it today.
Good seeing you, cats.
Yep.
Andy, I'm glad I took your virginity on the Fans in Motion page.
Woo!
And if you're at a show out there and you see Ed, say hi.
Do
and
not rub my
those
nipples because
nips.
you will get drop kicks.
He didn't say nothing about the ass, though.
There you go. All right. On that note, we shall see you all later. Bye.
Peace.